Welcome back. Will one day of overeating ruin my diet? How to lose weight guilt-free? Will one cheat day make me gain weight? If you have these questions, I have answers for you. This comes up sometimes online. I'm on Reddit. I'm answering questions. I'm engaging audiences. It seems like it's not a big deal, but there are things that I notice as the guilt-free health coach for entrepreneurs. So what I want to do in this video is put weight loss, cheat days, etc., in perspective with vision so you can stop feeling guilty and disappointed in yourself and build a sustainable practice for the weight loss and confident body that you want. Welcome. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. Engage is a core value. This is a common question, what this person was talking about. See if you can relate to this. I was doing so well until today. Leave a comment, click like if that's you. Okay, so what this person said is I binged so much on sugar today. Right after telling myself to cut down on sugar, I had like 1.5 donuts and a whole bag of sugary trail mix with candy pecans. Then a slice of lemon cake. I feel so sick now. This was like 1,000 in excess calories. The question, will this ruin my weight loss progress? I've lost like 5 pounds already by being so good. And so this happens. You'll have these questions. You might ask someone, or you might just feel bad about yourself and then quit and never start your diet, or wait until like Monday or January 1st to restart your diet instead of just getting back on track. And you feel bad, you feel mentally weak, you'll feel like something's wrong with you because you aren't able to keep some diet. So what I like to do is point out some little details to help people understand how to lose weight sustainably without all or nothing diets, so you don't feel guilty all the time. You actually enjoy leading the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. Your health supports your life is the key phrase. So this is really common because will one day of overeating ruin my diet? It gets 260 searches per month. So just showing compassion for yourself, understand you're not alone. People are actually typing this into Google, into search forums to try to get support for this. And then also, will one cheat day make me gain weight? Has 111 searches per month. So what I want to show you is how I have the guilt-free process that breaks this down for you. So we use vision, focus, and practice to help you establish a plan. You understand why your health is such an important part of your life, to help you decide things that you want to focus on and build a practice that works for you, that supports your life. You can celebrate ongoing progress and execute and adapt in cycles. So it is something that is flexible and changes with your needs and what's important to you. So the first thing I want to point out is nothing ruins your progress when it comes to your lifelong health journey unless you have a deadline. So a lot of times people will try to lose weight fast or some kind of, end point that you're imagining. Real life isn't like that. Every day that you're living, you're making choices with food and physical activity and stress levels. All right. And then when it comes to food and physical activity, your deadline is death. So even if you take a step back or if you regain some weight, your progress can't be ruined because you are still progressing through your life. Your weight loss isn't the biggest part of it. So keep that in mind. 2, it's harmful and counterproductive to label your food choices or your behavior patterns as good or bad. So this person, if you remember just a moment ago, where they say, I've lost like 5 pounds already by being so good. When you tell yourself that like these behaviors are like good and rewarding versus like these behaviors are bad, then you're assigning like a moral judgment to something that doesn't need that to happen. And that can be really harmful if you start doing those things that you decide are bad. You might think you're a bad person. You might like lose a sense of self-worth, self-esteem, and that harms your confidence, which is an important part for sustainable weight loss. So making choices that match your goals is not being good. It's just making those choices more often or less often, right? It's not a moral judgment. And this is what I go on to elaborate in my notes that I took, is it leads to using a reward slash punishment system that thrives on guilt and makes most people get stuck trying to use an unsustainable diet that they hate. Click like if you can relate to that, because that's a big thing, that if you start to feel guilty because you're doing bad things, then you're going to quit even trying because you don't want to risk being bad. And I've never said that before. I'm going to take a note on that for later. 3, you need a specific objective. What is cut down on sugar? What does that even mean? A lot of times people are like, yeah, I'm just going to cut back on calories and carbs and sugar, and it's not effective, and you're putting yourself in a bad situation to feel guilty, like I just talked about. So if you don't have a specific objective, you don't know if you're breaking it. Even if you do manage to cut down on sugar, like if you have any sugar at all, you'll feel like you didn't do what you set out to do because your objective was not specific enough. Leave a comment if you can relate to this, because this happens. I'm just giving you like the things that really gets me, because I'm like, oh man, you're so close, you're trying, and I get it, but you have some other things to consider. And I just want to add that that's what I'm all about on this channel, is helping people understand the process of your behavior change and habits in order for you to lead a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. So instead of a vague objective, cut down on sugar, consider something like, I'll have 2 or fewer servings of desserts per day. And this is a big thing. Don't try to lose weight fast. Make your goal sustainable and realistic. And I'll put a link below. Stop trying to lose weight fast. Let things happen. One of the analogies is kind of like baking a cake. Even if you have all the ingredients, it still takes time to make those changes. And so if you're rushing that, or if you're just guessing what ingredients are going in, your cake's not going to come out right. So make sure you stop trying to do things too quickly and set a reasonable objective. So when I'm talking about 2 or fewer servings of desserts per day, that might seem very modest. You might be like, why would I even try if I can have 2 desserts per day? But then what happens, if it's realistic, you can look and you can say like, okay, yes or no, did I do this? And then if you need to make an adjustment after that to make it more strict, or eat less dessert, or if you're not getting results, then that's when you can make adjustments. Don't just set like an all or nothing goal and then get stuck when you can't keep it, because that's frustrating for you, and then you give up and you don't feel good about that. So I'm hoping this is making sense. Leave a comment if you have any questions about this, because I'd love to talk about this behavior change stuff. Okay. My recommendation for new clients is no more than 3 off-diet meals per week. So this kind of, I've called it the flexible food game plan. You can message me if you want a copy of that. It leads to planning, develops confidence, and reminds people that you are in charge of every food that you put into your mouth. You are controlling that. In most cases. Now, if you have an extreme case, you might need professional support beyond a health coach. But in general, what happens is people have moments where they decide like, yeah, I thought I was going to cut down sugar, but forget it. Like this cupcake's right here, right? And one of my clients called them F it moments, where you just say like, no, I'm just going to eat what I want right now and I'll deal with it later. That's probably part of how you found this video, asking, did I ruin my progress by doing that? Because you didn't think about the plan before you had it. So something realistic. And I'm actually going to link the flexible food game plan below, so you can just click that and download it and try it out and see if you can start establishing that confidence without an all or nothing diet. 4, take stock of what happened. What led you to eat those things? Did you eat breakfast? Were you hungry? Were you thirsty? Were you bored, angry, emotional? Anything like that. Those are going to be factors. A lot of times I have a graduate certificate in positive behavior support, and this setup is basically antecedents, behaviors, and consequences. And basically the environment that happens before is something that can trigger your behavior choices and what you decide to do. So when you make a choice that doesn't match your goals, then what you want to do is look back at the environment and the setting that you were in to see what contributed. So that's what this one's all about. Did you say F it? Did you have peer pressure? Was everyone else eating birthday cake at the office and then you decided to join in, kind of thing, even though it didn't match your goals? Just being realistic and noting those things. It doesn't really matter either way, except when it's taking you away from your goals, and then you start to feel bad about yourself. So keep that in mind. Next, did you enjoy a reasonable portion, or did you scarf down a giant piece of cake? Was the cake unexpected? Like if you knew it was your coworker's birthday, then maybe you don't attend a party, or you bring another snack, or you have a smaller piece. What this person's describing was not exactly a reasonable portion, because they had like one thing, then they had another thing, and then they had like a giant piece of something else. Take time to enjoy your food. You can get pretty wonderful experience if you take a small piece and you take your time eating it, versus like, I know this for myself. One of my coworkers had a birthday party like a couple weeks ago, and I had a bigger cake than usual, bigger piece of cake, and I ate it kind of faster than I would have when I just cut a smaller slice for myself. So keep that in mind. Enjoy a reasonable portion, make plans accordingly, and then enjoy your food, enjoy your dessert. Another thing to consider in terms of this environment, where did the sugary trail mix come from? It didn't just sneak up on you. Did you buy sugary trail mix and prepare it? Then account for that in your plan for your meals. Or if you have that as a snack or a reminder that, like, if you start eating this and that means it's time to eat something else, then keep that in mind in context of your own day. Don't be surprised by the food choices that are available for you, and be surprised when you eat them. It's a tough combination. And I just went on with some more examples, like, were they specialty donuts? Did you want donuts? Did you have 3 halves of donuts or 1.5 donuts? What happened to the other half? Did someone else make the choice to eat half a donut? How did they do that? If halves were an option, how can you make it so you have fewer halves next time? These are some of the questions that I would ask if I was working with a client one-on-one, to understand what happened in that process so we can work on that together without feeling like judged or mentally weak or guilty for it, right? So if you're just feeling bad, like because you cheated on your diet or you went outside your plan, then you just feel bad about it and you don't take time to take a step back and understand what happened, what contributed. But if you ask these questions, they seem frivolous on a YouTube video, but if you look at that choice that you made that didn't match your goals and you analyze it and you take a step back, you can make a plan for next time so you're not in that exact same situation, likely to make the exact same counterproductive choice. Click like if that makes sense to you. 5 is valuable to restart your plan with more experience and clarity immediately. All right. A common mistake here is people will restart the next day or the next Monday, end up getting stuck and quitting. So this is like one of the biggest things. I mean, I say that a lot because all this stuff is big. It's just knowing what to look for. And if you say like, oh, I messed up my lunch, and then you have like a cookie, and then you have like 5 cookies later, you're just like, forget it. I'll just have whatever I want today. And then the next day I'll start tomorrow, or I'll restart my diet on Monday. And so what people will do, they'll do that instead of just getting right back on track. You're like, okay, I made some mistakes, and maybe assessing that mistake as soon as possible or later that night. So you have a plan for next time you might be in that situation. They'll just kind of give up after feeling bad and avoiding that guilty feeling instead of addressing it, not having a guilty feeling in the first place, and just understanding that this change is a process in your health habits. All right. And if you want to learn more about the guilt free game plan, how that works, how we build vision, focus, and practice so you don't feel mentally weak, so you don't feel bad about your choices, if you find yourself like consistently cheating on your diet or you have unrealistic plans, we use confidence, realistic focus, and accountability to help you understand that behavior change and make it sustainable for you without all or nothing diets that make you feel bad about yourself. So you can click the coaching page link below. I'd love to work with you one-on-one so you can understand our process more thoroughly. I have some group coaching offers coming up very soon. There's also the Health Habits Challenge, just a 7-day like newsletter with some free tips that you can try to get started, to go on this guilt-free journey so you don't feel mentally weak, like you're not good enough, like something's wrong with you when you make these kinds of mistakes. These mistakes happen. No one's perfect. Do it guilt-free. All right. And leave a comment if you can relate to this, or if this is something that you can feel yourself, if you heard yourself saying that. And next, you can watch I Cheated on My Diet, Playing the Long Game for Weight Loss. I cover this sometimes. I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. Compassion, core value, fit for freelance. So click like, subscribe, and as always, keep practicing. Peace.